Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is on March 12th, 2024. It's on Tuesday and rainy. How are you spending Tuesday? Are you working on your duty now? Or study? Are you studying or working now? Or have you already finished working or studying? My doctor requested that I not drink a cup of coffee for a time being until my symptoms disappear. My doctor requested that I not drink coffee for a time being. My doctor insisted that I not drink coffee for a time being if I'd like to eradicate the disease once and for all. The members in the demonstration insisted that the government abolish consumption tax. The members in the demonstration were insisting that the government do away with consumption tax. The members in the demonstration insisted that the legislature do away with the notorious bill. The members in the demonstration insisted that the legislature abolish the notorious bill. Hmm. My parents insisted that I'm insured against car accident. My parents insisted that I should be insured against car accident. My parents insisted that I should insure my car just in case of a car accident. The customer insisted that the staff discount the merchandise up to 50%. The customer insisted that the staff decrease the price of the product up to 50%. The customer in the appliance shop insisted that the staff discount the product up to 60%. The customer insisted that the sales clerk discount the product up to 40%. The customer in the appliance store insisted that the staff decrease the price of the product up to 70%. The customer in the appliance store insisted that the staff discount the product the customer wanted to buy by 50%. The customer insisted that the staff in the appliance store discount the product by 60%. The customer in the appliance store insisted that the staff diminished the price of the product up to 50%. The customer in the appliance store insisted that the staff discount the product up to half. The teacher insisted that all of the students submit the homework by Friday. The common teacher insisted that all of the students submit the homework by Friday. The section-in-chief insisted that all of the orders should be dealt with by Friday. The section-in-chief insisted that assembly should be completed by Friday. My boss insisted that I put an end to a pile of tasks by the end of Friday. My superior insisted that I put an end to a heap of tasks on my desk by the end of this month. My superior insisted that I should bring a pile of tasks to an end by 5 o'clock today. My superior insisted that I should finish the work by noon. The kid insisted that he hadn't been involved in the activity. The kid made believe that he was a superhero. The kid insisted that he had nothing to do with the incident. The advertisement insists that we should not drive once we drink alcoholic beverage. The messages written on the electrical board insisted that we Never, we never failed to fasten a seatbelt whenever we ride on the car. The messages on the electrical board insisted that all of the drivers follow the rules. The host of the event insisted that all of the guests follow the rules in order to make the party successful. The host of the party insisted that the visitors not smoke inside. A message on the board insisted the drivers not park illegally along the fence. The notice on the board insisted the drivers should not park illegally in the premises without permission. The common teacher insisted that students not cheat on the examination. The teacher insisted that students not cheat on the examinations, no matter what happened. My boss insisted that I should put an end to filling data into the Excel file by today. My superior insisted that I put an end to filling all of the figures into the Excel file. Our boss insisted that all of the employees working in the department should arrive there 2 hours earlier than usual to prepare for that. In preparation for the arrival of our super guests. Our superior insisted that we arrive at the office 2 hours earlier than usual in preparation for the arrival of our guests, like cleaning, decoration, lining up in front of the entrance, and so on. The company demanded that all of the applicants should follow the requirements before submitting the resume. The company demands that all of the clients require all of the applicants meet the requirements described in the description section in the paper. The company demands that all of the applicants should follow and meet the requirements described in the paper. According to the description, the position demands that new employees can work even on Saturdays and Sundays, but instead of that, they can have a day off in a week. It might be Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, a day in a week. It can be chosen in the discussion, through the discussion between the employer and the candidates. The position in recruitment demands that the applicant can work on Saturdays and Sundays. The newly posted position demands that the candidates can work on Saturdays and Sundays. The company demands that all of the applicants should have a TOEIC score more than 900 as prerequisite. The company demands that all of the applicants should have a TOEIC score more than 900 as prerequisite. The company demands that all of the applicants have a TOEIC score more than 900 as prerequisite. The company demands that all of the applicants have a TOEIC score of more than 900 as prerequisite. Otherwise, they can submit their resumes. The company demands that all of the applicants have a TOEIC score of more than 900 as prerequisite. The company demands that all of the applicants have a TOEIC score of more than 900 as prerequisite. Applicant, 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 applicant. The police officer ordered that the driver should pull over. The police officer ordered that the car driver pull over. The police officer ordered that the driver put it over. The police officer ordered that the driver put his car over for speeding. The police officer ordered that the driver put it over for speeding. The cops ordered that the driver put his car over for speeding. Hmm. The parents order that the daughter study for at least 3 hours every day as a condition of being presented with PlayStation 4. The parents ordered that their son should study for at least 3 hours on a daily basis as the terms of being presented with PlayStation 5. Mm. The chief executive officer of the company ordered that all of the employees wear the uniform at all times. The chief executive officer of the company ordered that all of the employees not use cell phone during the work. The board of directors ordered that all of the employees working in the group not use a smartphone during the duty and keep them to a back until they finish their work. The board of directors insisted that all of the employees not use a smartphone until they finish the work. The judge ordered that the accused pay 1 million yen back to the victims. The judge ordered the accused that he pay back 1 million yen to the victim. The judge ordered that the accused pay back 1 million yen to the plaintiff. The judge in the court ordered that the accused pay back 1 million yen to the plaintiff. The judge in the court ordered that the defendant pay 1.2 million yen to the plaintiff. The judge in the court ordered that the accused pay back 1 million yen to the victims. Plaintiff. The judge ordered that the accused pay back 1 million yen to the plaintiff. The judge ordered that the accused pay 1 million yen to the plaintiff. The judge ordered that the defendant pay 1 million yen to the plaintiff. The judge ordered that the defendant pay 1 million yen to the plaintiff. The judge ordered that the accused should pay 1 million yen to the plaintiff as compensation. The chief executive officer of the company ordered that all of the employees wear the uniform. The chief executive officer of the company ordered that all of the employees be prevented from growing long hair. The chief executive officer of the company ordered that all of the employees have to cut their hair short. The chief executive officer ordered that all of the employees working in the company have to cut their hair short. The chief executive officer of the company ordered that all of the employees working in the group not use a smartphone during the duty. The chief executive officer of the company ordered that all of the employees working in the group not use a smartphone on duty. I proposed that we should stay a nearby hotel from the venue the day before in advance. I suggested that we should stay in a hotel close to the venue the day before. My relatives proposed that I should take on the job offer. One of the cabinet members proposed that they should call off the event at all. Some cabinet members proposed that they should increase the budget. To accelerate the recovery. I proposed that we should postpone the event altogether at all. Some members in the committee proposed that the occasion be postponed until next Sunday in case of rain. Some members in the community proposed that they should postpone or call off the event at all. No one in the community proposed that they should postpone or call off the festival in case of typhoon, meaning it took place. I propose that we should have a break at the next parking lot. I propose that we have a short break at the next service area along the expressway. I proposed that we should have a trip on weekdays to take advantage of cheaper prices in many services, including flight tickets, accommodations, entrance fees, and so on. My teacher proposed that I should take the examination. My teacher proposed that I take the examination. My mentor proposed that I have a week-long vacation from the work. My mentor proposed that I have a week-long vacation from the work. My mentor proposed that I should have a week-long holidays from work. My mentor proposed that I have a week-long vacation from work to relax for a change. My mentor proposed that I take a week-long vacation off work. My mentor proposed that I have a 3-day vacation off work. My mentor proposed that I take a 3-day vacation from work. My mentor proposed that I take a 3-day holidays from work. My mentor proposed that I have 3-day offs of work. My mentor advised that I should have 3-day offs from work. My mentor proposed that I should take 3-day off from work. I proposed that we should rent a car in the tourist spot to take a tour of various spots efficiently. I proposed that we should rent a car in the tourist spot with a view to circulating the tourist spots efficiently. The accommodation requests that the guest not smoke nor drinking alcohol beverages. The accommodation strongly requests that the guest not drink or eat in the waiting room except for the lounge. The guest house requests that guests do not smoke or eat or drink in the dormitory room except for the lounge. The guest house strongly requests that the guest not drink or eat in the dormitory room except for the lounge. The guest house requests that the guest not drink or eat in the dormitory room. The guest house requests that the guest not drink or eat in the dormitory room except for the lounge. The guest house requests that the guests not drink or eat in the dormitory room. The accommodation strongly requests that the guest not bring in durian. The accommodation strongly requests that the guest not bring in durian. The general manager of the department requested the researchers working in the department develop a thoroughly new product which never exists in other companies as early as this year. The general manager of the department requested that the researchers working in the laboratory should develop an amazing product which never exists in other companies as early as this year. The manager in the department requested that the researchers working in the laboratory develop an amazing product which never exists in the world as early as next year. The customer requested that the staff discount the product up to 50%. Some examinees requested that the creators of the examinations should be responsible for the gap of the difficulties between the last year and this year. Some examinees requested that the creator of the examinations be responsible for the huge gap of difficulty between this year and last year. The customer requested that the staff discount the product up to 50%. The profession on recruitment requests that the applicants work on even Saturdays and Sundays. The new position requires that he or she should work on Saturdays and Sundays. The newly posted position requests that the applicants work on Saturdays and Sundays. My superior requested that I work overtime today. My boss requested that I work overtime today. My superior requested that I should work overtime. The section in chief suggested that we have party in the restaurant instead of having a picnic under cherry blossoms to escape the congestion and rain. The section in chief suggested that we should have a party in the restaurant instead of having a picnic under the cherry blossom trees as we had planned. The section in chief suggested that we should have a party in the restaurant instead of having a picnic under the cherry blossom trees as we had planned. The section in chief suggested that we have dinner at the restaurant. The section in chief suggested we extend the deadline to assemble the product given the recent delay of the delivery. Nobody at that time suggested that they should call off the festival since typhoon was approaching. I suggested that we make a change to layouts during the pandemic. I suggested that we embark on a new business during the pandemic because some of the contemporary businesses went bad. My senior colleague suggested that we leave here in the middle of the midnight to escape the traffic congestion. My senior colleague suggested that we should leave here in the middle of midnight to avoid congestion. My senior colleague suggested that we live here in the middle of the midnight to escape congestion, with a view to escaping congestion, in order to escape congestion, so as to escape congestion, in an attempt to escape congestion, in a bid to escape congestion. My senior colleague suggested that we not have lunch in the newly opened restaurant because congestion is almost sure. Was almost sure. I suggested that we buy round-trip ticket beforehand in order to take the ferry smoothly without waiting in the line to buy the ticket when we returned. I suggested we buy round-trip tickets in advance so that we could move smoothly and in order to avoid waiting in the line to buy the ticket when we returned, I suggested that we buy the round-trip ticket to the destination so that we could take the ferry, board the ferry smoothly without waiting in the line to buy the ticket. I suggested that we buy the round-trip tickets in advance in order to be able to board the ferry without waiting in the line to buy the tickets. My senior colleague suggested that I not talk to the person. The teacher insisted that the student not be late for the school again. The boss insisted that the employee not be late for the workplace again. The teacher insisted that the student not be late for the school again. The teacher insisted that the student not sleep during the class. The teacher insisted that the student not sleep during the class again. The boss insisted that the employee not be lazy at work any longer. The boss insisted that the employee never be lazy at work. The boss insisted that the employee never be negligent at work. The boss insisted that the employee never be negligent at work. The boss insisted that employee never be lazy at work. The boss insisted that employee never be negligent at work. The superior insisted that his subordinate never be negligent at the workplace. The superior insisted that his subordinate never be negligent at work. The superior insisted that his subordinate never be lazy at work. The superior insisted that his subordinate never be negligent at work. It is important that you take the medicine as you were told by your doctor. It is essential that we are faced with difficulties as a way to grow. It is essential that we are confronted with difficulties to get over in order to grow both mentally and physically. It is important you arrive at the airport at least 2 hours prior to the departure time. It is important that we should make a mistake at the process to grow and to learn the lesson so that way we won't make the same mistakes again. It is important that we follow the rules. It is important that we should follow the rules. It is important we learn things. It is important we challenge new things. We challenge new things. It is important we sometimes be bored and go for it. It is important that we on occasion be bored and go for it. It is important that you follow the rules. It is important that you leave your house 30 minutes earlier than usual in case of traffic congestion. It is important that you finished all of the chapters by the time you graduate. It is important you have a good sleep the day before the examination. I know it is important that we should take enough sleep the day before the examination, but we get nervous, which prevents us from sleeping well. But I heard a story about a person who didn't have a good sleep the day before. Even though he didn't have a good sleep the day before, he could do his best and did better than expected on the examinations. It is important we intake not only meat but also vegetables. It is important we intake not only meat but also vegetables. It is important we obtain not only protein but also vitamins. It is important that we improve output skills such as speaking and writing, but also input skills such as reading and listening. It is important we improve our output skills such as speaking and writing, not only input skills such as listening and reading. It is important we focus on not only reading and listening but also speaking and writing skills. When it comes to learning foreign languages, it is important we concentrate on not only listening and reading but also speaking and writing. When it comes to learning foreign languages, Taking a balance among the four skills are very important in the growth, in the process of learning languages. But I think many English education in Japan are tilted towards input skills like reading. So taking a balance among the four skills is very important. If you focus on reading only, maybe you cannot speak at all. If it is likened to practicing the piano, maybe you can read the music sheet, but you cannot play. Without practice, we cannot play the piano, we cannot play the musical instrument. We cannot speak English. It's the same function. Hmm. It is important we eat not only meat but also vegetables. It is important that we take a close look at overall shape of the bonsai, but also each detail of each part. It is important we take a close look at only the overall shape of the bonsai, but also the detail of each part, such as trunk, root, and branches. It is necessary that we are faced with difficulties as a way to grow in everything. We cannot grow without making a mistake or feeling depressed. I guess, I think, I presume, I predict, I suppose. It is necessary that we are confronted with difficulties, hardships, predicaments, mayhem in the process of growth. It is necessary that we are faced with difficulties, predicaments, hardships, adversities in the process of our growth. It is necessary that we get over adversities in the course of our growth. It is necessary we are patient to achieve something fit. It is necessary we should be patient, persistent, in order to achieve a feat. It is necessary that we are patient when it comes to achieving a great feat. It is necessary that we are persistent until we achieve a goal. It is necessary that you attend all of the classes without being absent even once in order to get the credit. It is necessary that you take over 80% on the test in order to get the credit. It is necessary that you get more than 60% on the score of the test in order to get the credit. It is necessary you earn 120 credits in order to graduate from the university. It is necessary you earn more than 120 credits as a condition to graduate from the university. It is essential that we are faced with adversities in the course of our growth. It is essential that we are faced with difficulties in the course of our life. It is essential that we are confronted with difficulties, adversities, hardship, predicaments in the process of our growth, in the process of our life, in the process of our life, in the process of our growth, in the process of our growth. It is essential that we stack up small efforts on a daily basis to achieve something great. It is essential we pile up small efforts on a daily basis to achieve something great. It is essential that we stack up small efforts on a daily basis, gradually, little by little, in order to so as to achieve something great. It is essential that we pile up small things gradually, little by little, so as to achieve something great, as great as winning Nobel Prize. It is essential that you earn more than 120 credits with a view to graduating from the university. It is essential that you pass the examination in order to get the eligibility for starting the business. It is essential you register at the prefectural office before starting your business. It is essential that first you have to pass the national examination in order to obtain the right to start the business. It is essential that you turn 20 in order to drink alcoholic beverages in Japan as of now. It is essential you turn 20 years old so as to drink alcoholic beverages in Japan. It is essential that we take nutrients. It is essential every driver have longer than 30 minutes break every 4 hours. It is essential we take a break regularly because we are not Superman. We get tired with time. It is essential that you register at the prefectural office first before starting your business. It was not until you register. It wasn't it won't be until you register at the prefectural office that you can start a business. It won't be until you register at the prefectural office that you can start a business. It is desirable that you have a TOEIC score of more than 900. It is desirable that you are fluent in both Japanese and English. It is desirable you should be fluent in both Japanese and English. It is desirable that you are fluent in both Japanese and English. It is desirable that you should be literate in programming C. It is desirable that you have programming skill. It is desirable that we should leave here by 7 o'clock a.m. It is desirable that the orders should arrive here by Friday. It is desirable that you have fluency in English, as well as C1 or more, higher, tiger. It is desirable that you have a TOEIC score more than higher than 900. It is desirable you should have a TOEIC score higher than 900. It is desirable that you should have the experience in educational industry. It is desirable that you have at least 3-year experience in schools. It is desirable that you should have longer than 3-year school management skill experience. It is desirable that you should have at least 3-year experience of school management. It is desirable that you leave your house 1 hour earlier than usual. It is desirable that you reach the airport 2 hours at least prior to the departure time or ahead of the departure time, before the departure time. It is desirable that you get to the international airport at least 2 hours before the departure, not examination. Desirable, 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 desirable. Desirable, 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 direction, neither. Tube, subway, lift, elevator. Way out, exit. There is no other way out except for the north exit. There was no other way out except for following the order from the arrogant boss. Desirable, 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 desirable. Desirable, 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 desirable. It is desirable that you have a TOEIC score of higher than 900. It is desirable you should be fluent in both Japanese and English. It is desirable you should have the experience of longer than 3 years in the educational industry. It is desirable that you have at least 3 year experience in the management of grammar school. It is desirable that you have experience in programming C for longer than 5 years. It is desirable that you have at least 3 year experience in programming C, creating programmings. It is desirable that you have the expert qualification. It is desirable that you should have the qualification. It is desirable that you 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 have the qualification. It is urgent that I bring the Excel files to an end by 5 o'clock p.m. today. It is urgent that I should head for the office for a reason. Mm. It is urgent that we put an end to the tasks by today. It is urgent we should put an end to the tasks by today. Urgent. Is it so urgent to finish the job by today? You have tomorrow. Why is it so urgent? It is urgent. We rush to the train station so that we catch the train in time. It is urgent we leave here immediately. It is urgent we leave here immediately so that we can catch the last train. It is urgent we turn the car around and back home because I forgot to turn off the air conditioner. It is urgent we get home to turn off the air conditioners. It is urgent I have to go back for a reason. It is urgent that I make the order by today because the discount is by today. It is urgent that we issue the order at the store because the discount is by today. It is urgent that we make a purchase at the store because the sale is by today. It is urgent that we make an order at the store because the sale is by today. It was urgent that we should put an end to a pile of tasks by yesterday. It was urgent that we should bring the tasks to an end by yesterday for a reason. It was urgent that I should submit the document to the organization. It was urgent that I turned in the report to the professor yesterday. It was urgent that I should hand in the report to the professor. It was urgent that I should turn the report in to the professor. It was urgent that I turned in the report to the professor. It was urgent that I should submit the report to the associate professor. It was urgent that I hand in the report to the professor. It was urgent that I hand in the report to the associate professor. It was urgent that I should hand in the report to the associate professor. It was urgent that we prepare for the meeting on short notice. It was urgent that we prepare the room for the meeting on short notice. It was urgent that we should prepare the room for the event on short notice. It is urgent. We set the room for the occasion. It was urgent that I get the passport in 7 days. It was urgent that I take the passport. It was urgent that I take the passport immediately, as soon as possible. It was urgent that I get the passport as early as possible, as fast as possible. It was urgent that I should obtain the passport as early as possible, as fast as possible, because my foreign trip was imminent in 10 days. It was urgent that I should obtain the passport in 7 days. It was urgent that I should obtain the passport as fast as possible, because my foreign trip was imminent, around there. It was urgent that I obtain the passport as fast as possible. It was urgent that I get the passport as early as possible. It was urgent that we turn our car around and get home to turn off the switches. It was urgent that we head for the hospital because our cousin was in a critical condition. It was urgent that we should head for the hospital as our cousin was in a critical condition. It was urgent that I head for the hospital as my relative was in a critical condition. It was condition that I headed for the hospital as my friend was in a critical condition. It was urgent that I finish my lunch within 5 minutes. It was urgent that I rushed to the hospital as my relative was in a critical condition. It is urgent that I finish the report by Friday. It is urgent that I should prepare for the meeting. It is urgent that I deal with all of the procedures. It is urgent that I deal with all of the orders by today. It is urgent that we deal with 300 orders today. It is urgent that we cope with 500 orders today with only 2 employees. It is urgent that we, only 2 of us, deal with 500 orders by today. It is urgent that I hand the report in to the associate professor by Friday. It is urgent that I turn in the report to the associate professor by 5 p.m. today. It is urgent that I finish writing the thesis by Friday. It is urgent that I hand in the report to the professor by 5 p.m. today. It is urgent that I turn in the report to the associate professor by Tuesday. It is urgent that we cope with 500 orders by just 2 of us. It is urgent that we should stop operating the machine and head for the entrance to welcome the clients. It was urgent that we prepare the laboratories for the unexpected visit by the boss. It was urgent that we prepare the laboratories for the visit by the chief executive officer unexpectedly. It was urgent that we prepare the factory for the unexpected visit by the CEO. It was urgent that I should head for the hospital as my friend was in a critical condition. I wonder why he is in good spirits. I wonder why he is in a good mood. I wonder why he is in good spirits. I wonder why he is in sad spirits. It is urgent that we inform our bosses of the troubles happening in the machine. It is urgent that we stop all of the production for a moment to prevent more accidents from happening. It is urgent that we escape to a higher ground the moment the tsunami warning has been issued. It is urgent that we should escape to a higher ground the moment tsunami warning has been issued. Or before, guessing from the situation. It is urgent that we first deal with the most difficult problems in the first place. It is urgent that we deliver the food supply to the disaster-stricken area as many as possible. It is urgent that relief aid should be sent to the disaster-affected area as soon as possible. It is urgent that relief aid should be dispatched, deployed, sent, delivered to the disaster-affected area as soon as possible. It is urgent that relief aids should be delivered to the disaster-stricken area as soon as possible. It was urgent that relief aid should be sent to the disaster-stricken area. It was urgent that a relief aid should be delivered to the disaster-affected area as soon as possible. It was urgent that relief aids should be sent to the disaster-stricken area as soon as possible. It is urgent that we complete the assembly of 500 units by today, by just 2 of us. It is urgent that relief aids should be delivered to the disaster-affected area as soon as possible. It is urgent that infrastructures should be secured. It is urgent. The infrastructure is secured in the first place. It is time you went to bed. It's time I went home. It's time the plane arrived. It's high time the flight arrived. It's about time the flight landed. It's time the new game console released from the company. Game console. It's about time new single from the band was released. It's high time new game console was released from the company. It's high time a new game console would be released from the company. It's about time a game console was released from a company. From the company. Hmm. Hmm. It's time you went to bed. It's time the cake was ready. It's time she was ready. It's time the class ended. It's time the class finished. It's time the class finished. It's time the test finished. It's time the tests were finished. It's high time the tests were finished. It's about time the test was finished. It's high time the flight landed. It's about time the flight landed. It's high time the flight landed. It's about time the flight ended. A flight landed. It's high time our guest arrived. It's about time we went home. It's high time we went back to hotel. It's about time we went back to hotel. It's time we went back to hotel. It's time you challenged it. It's high time you challenged it. It's about time you challenged it. It's time we ate dinner. 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 It's high time we went We ate dinner. It's high time. We ate dinner. It's about time we ate dinner. It's high time we ate dinner. It's about time we ate dinner. It's high time we ate dinner. It's about time we ate dinner. It's high time we ate dinner. It's about time we ate dinner. Hmm. It's high time the sun set in. It's about time the sun set in. It's time the sun set in. It's high time the sun rose. It's about time the sun rose. It's time the sun rose up. It's time the sun rose up. It's time the sun rose up. It's high time the sun rose up. It's about time the sun rose up. It's high time the sun rose up. It's about time the sun rose up. It's time the sun rose up. It's time the newspaper was delivered. It's time the newspaper was delivered. It's high time the newspaper was delivered. It's about time the newspaper was delivered. It's high time the newspaper was delivered. It's about time the newspaper was delivered. It's time the newspaper was delivered. It's time our guest arrived. It's high time our guest arrived. It's about time our guest arrived. It's high time our guest arrived. It's about time our guest arrived. It's time our guest arrived. It's high time we ate dinner. It's about time we ate dinner. It's 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 high time we ate dinner. It's about time we ate dinner. It's time. The newspaper was delivered. It's about time. the newspaper was delivered. It's high time the newspaper was delivered. It's about time the newspaper was delivered. It's time the train arrived here. It's time she arrived here. It's time my father arrived here. It's time the bus arrived here. It's time the bus departed. It's time the Shinkansen 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 departed. It's departed, the bus arrived here. It's high time the bus arrived here. It's about time the bus arrived here. It's high time the bus arrived here. It's about time the bus arrived here. It's 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 high time the bus arrived here. It's about time the bus arrived here. It's time we ate lunch. It's time we ate lunch. It's time we ate lunch. It's time I ate lunch. It's high time I ate lunch. It's about time I ate lunch. It's about time I had lunch. It's high 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 time I had lunch. It's about time I had lunch. It's high time I had lunch. It's about time I had lunch. It's high time I had lunch. It's high time I had lunch. It's about time I had lunch. It's 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 time a new game console was released from the game company. It's high time a new game console was released from the company. It's about time a new game console was released from the company. It's time the examination result was released, announced. It's high time the result announcement of the examination was announced. It's about time the examination result was announced. It's about time the examination result were announced. It's time the examination result were announced. It's time you went to bed. It's time you went to bed. It's time you went to bed. It's high time you went to bed. It's high time you went to bed. It's about time you went to bed. It's high time you went to bed. It's high time you went to bed. It's about time you went to bed. The employee working on his computer over there is as it were a moving robot, so to speak, moving robot. The boss sitting in the front, just behind the window, is so to speak a dictator. You had better off making him angry. Money is as it were nothing but a creation by humanity. Hmm. Singing is as it were heaven for her. Karaoke, singing in karaoke is, so to speak, heaven for her. Hmm. Singing is, as it were, one of the tools to communicate. Singing is, so to speak, one of the communications, one of the ways to communicate, one of the tools to communicate. As it were, so to speak, 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 as it were, as it were, so to speak, 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 as it were, as it were, so to speak, as it were, as it were, so to speak, as it were, as it were, as it were, so to speak. Natto is, as it were, fermented soybeans. Natto is, so to speak, fermented soybeans. Momiji manju are, so to speak, bands in the shape of maple. The general manager of the department is, as it were, an arrogant dictator who rejects everything which against his policies. Hmm. As it were, so to speak, what is called, as it were, so to speak, as it were, so to speak, as it were, so to speak, so to speak, as it were. Hmm. Anti-sound room is, so to speak, a haven for some people. Swimming in the beach is, so to speak, a short moment haven for some people. Summer is, as it were, hell for some people. Walking in the direct sunlight in summer is, so to speak, hell for some people. The hard training of the club activity was, as it were, as good as torture. The hard training of the club activity I'd experienced when I was a junior high school student was, so to speak, a torture. The hard training of the club activity was all but torture, as it were, so to speak. He is, as it were, nerd, anorak, maniac, nerd, geek of video games. He is, as it were, alcoholic addict. He is, so to speak, alcoholic addict. He is, as it were, alcoholic addict. He is, so to speak, an alcoholic addict. He used to be, as it were, an alcoholic addict. He used to be, so to speak, an alcoholic addict. He is, as it were, a video game addict. She is, so to speak, a video game addict. She is, as it were, a video game addict. She is, so to speak, a video game addict. As it were, as it were, as it were, so to speak. As it were, as it were, so to speak. I'd rather swim in the sea than climb the mountains. I would rather quit the job than obey the arrogant boss. I might as well quit the job as follow the arrogant boss. I'd rather go my own way than fit into the obsolete way of thinking in the company. I'd rather go my own way than toil away for the company. I would rather go my own way than mold into the obsolete way of thinking in the company. I'd rather go my own way than trying to fit into the mold of the obsolete way of thinking in the company. I would rather go my own way than striving to mold into the obsolete old-fashioned system. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!